Watch out, Chuck Schumer. You may soon be following in the footsteps of Mitch McConnell. The Democrats and the far left are outraged that Schumer dared cave to Donald Trump and vote for the continuing resolution. In fact, things are so bad that House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries appeared to suggest that it's time for new leadership in the Senate.
And undeclared senators, and we anxiously await that vote.
Is it time for new leadership in the Senate?
Next question.
Mr. Leader,
First, can you clarify?
Next question? That is a simple yes or no answer. By refusing to answer the question, let me put it this way. A non-answer is still an answer, especially when it's a yes or no question. If you are truly a staunch ally of Chuck Schumer, if you had his back, if you were on the same page, you would have said, no, it's not time for new leadership. We need to trust our leaders. We have to stick to the playbook. There's a strategy and a blueprint that we're following. But by saying next question, he is sowing the seeds of doubt. He's cracking the door open for those in his coalition who may want to oust Chuck Schumer and want someone who's even more far radical left, want someone who is going to stand up for the Democrats. I don't care what they want representing them in the Senate or in the House. I'm just happy that there's all this infighting going on because they're too busy fighting each other to actually put up a fight against Trump, Vance, Musk, and the Trump agenda. So this is good news that this infighting is going on, but it's not just Hakeem Jeffries. So AOC went on CNN and they asked her, are you thinking about running? Would you consider running to replace Chuck Schumer in the Senate? And I never thought I would say this, but run, AOC, run.
Would you, what do you think of the job that Chuck Schumer is doing? Would you ever challenge him, do you think?
I think that what we need right now is a united Senate Democratic caucus that can stand up for this country and not vote for cloture and not vote for this bill. And I think that the strength that we have is in this moment. Reconciliation and all of these, Republicans do not need Democratic votes for that. They need it for this. And so the strength of our leadership in this moment is going to demonstrate the strength of our caucus. And I cannot urge enough how bad of an idea it is to empower and enable Donald Trump and Elon Musk in this moment. It is dangerous and it is reckless.
Well,
Again, I can't say it enough, but refusing to answer a question is still an answer in and of itself. I mean, if you were point blank just asked me, hey, Daniel, are you going to become a vegan next year? I would just say no. Are you going to become a cheerleader? No. Are you going to buy a dollhouse? No. There are just so many things on my list. Easy answers. And AOC has a very friendly relationship with the mainstream corporate media. So it's not as if she has to play coy. It's not as if she has to watch her words because they're out to get her with gotcha questions. No, she is on friendly turf. So why can't you say, AOC, that you're not going to challenge Chuck Schumer unless, number one, you are considering it, or number two, you want to sow the seeds, again, seeds of doubt, dissension. You want to put the leadership on its heels and you want them to be scared of you. There are many reasons why she may want to do that politically, but it is not a good look for Chuck Schumer. It's not a good look for the Democrats. They are in shambles, and all these different fractures are appearing, and the factions are breaking out. Well, Hakeem Jeffries, like I said, refused to answer the question, and I wasn't the only one who picked up on that. The media was following him through the halls of Congress, and they were like, hey, Hakeem, can you clarify why you didn't answer that question? And he actually got mad at the media for following up, which I think, you know, if you get mad, it's usually because someone's pushing a button. Someone is hitting a little too close to home.
No. Do not characterize.
No, my question was, why are you afraid to say that?
Do not characterize my remarks. I'm not afraid about anything.
But you went to another question twice when asked
Isn't
about
it a yes or no
Is there a
question?
problem?
I said I was very clear that we look forward to working with every single one of our Senate Democratic colleagues. Every single one of them. Push back against the Trump administration. Every single one.
If you just said yes to having confidence in him, this would go away in many
Do you
ways.
think that this is what the American people care about right now? Or do they want us to do everything that we can to stop this partisan and harmful Republican bill from actually becoming law? Because that's what we as House Democrats are focused on.
Well, Hakeem, if it is partisan, then why did 10 Senate Democrats vote for the CR? Why did they vote to avert a government shutdown? This is according to Axios. Also, he said there, don't you dare mischaracterize what I was saying. And he also claimed he's not afraid to answer the question. Well, you refused to answer the question twice. You were refusing to push back against this mischaracterization of that moment. I mean, you're walking through the hallways. You can clarify yourself right now. You can say exactly what you meant. But again, he refused to do that. Why? Either he does want new leadership in the Senate, or he's trying to put pressure on Chuck Schumer. Either way, the Democrat Party, they are not coordinated, and I would much rather have them fighting themselves right now. And it's not just all of them. Nancy Pelosi was actually in the mix. She posted this on X, basically telling Democrats to ignore Chuck Schumer and vote or refuse to vote for this and essentially support a shutdown. And she even said Democrat senators should listen to the woman. So even as she is stabbing Chuck Schumer in the back, she has to bring sex into this. Again, the party of sexism, the party of racism, the party of victimization. No surprise that she did that. Well, as if this isn't bad enough for Chuck Schumer, a former Chuck Schumer staffer went on MSNBC. Does this sound familiar? To me, this is reminding me. It's a smaller version, of course, because the stakes are lower. It's not a presidential election cycle. But it reminds me of when Joe Biden had his disastrous debate and the media, all of a sudden, everyone turned on him like that. Does this not feel similar? All of a sudden, all the Democrats who you would have thought had Chuck Schumer's back, all of a sudden, they're stabbing him, not just stabbing him, but they're twisting the knife. Here is one of his staffers on MSNBC.
What does this mean for Chuck Schumer?
It's not good. I mean, look, the reality is that he has a caucus that wants to fight. You have a number of talented younger members like Murphy and others who really want to lead the party going forward. And so he has to show that, notwithstanding being in his mid-70s, he can lead the party in the Senate. What he's done this week has not shown that. In fact, he's done the opposite.
Yeah. And I should clarify, I think I said it, but a former staffer. He is not a current staffer of Chuck Schumer. Last but not least, over on CNN, Dana Bash was giving an account of what she had heard from sources on Capitol Hill. Now, she kind of undersold this because I also read the same source and I read the same news story. What happened was Democrats were so angry that they were actually shouting, yelling at each other, not just raised voices, not just tense conversations, but shouting, like very angry, like you would shout on a football field or something. But here's how she described that moment.
Now, according to Democratic Senate sources I've been talking to, the biggest frustration inside the Democratic caucus isn't just Schumer's decision, but the indecision most of the week. The lack of clarity about what Democrats should or would do played out in a series of private Senate Democratic meetings that got pretty intense. In one notable moment, I'm told that Senator Michael Bennet of Colorado, who has not been shy about his frustration with his party leadership in the past, erupted during one of those meetings. Two sources familiar with the moment tell CNN that Senator Bennet accused the Senate Democratic leadership, his leadership, of having, quote, no strategy, no plan, and no message on this spending bill.
I think that really undersells just how tense that meeting was. But hey, you do you, CNN. So, like I said, I really am suspecting that there is a coordinated push here to replace Chuck Schumer. At least that's the sense I'm getting. And that's why I drew the parallel to Joe Biden and the presidential debate last year. Do you see that as well? Or am I reading too much into it? Are Democrats just angry because they're angry and that's what they do? And so they're all ranting on TV? Or do you pick up on this feeling that maybe, hey, there is a coordinated push to get someone more extreme in Chuck Schumer's position? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Now, one more story before we end today's video. I want to prove to you that this is not an AI video because it's a little crazy, but this is from Citizens Against Government Waste, so CAGW. This was published July 22, 2011, so well before AI became mainstream. So, referring to Barack Obama in the second sentence of the first paragraph, the president announced the so-called campaign to cut waste by posting a short video message on YouTube.com. And guess what that linked to? It linked to this.
Everyone knows that getting rid of the deficit will require some tough decisions. And that includes cutting back on billions of dollars in programs that a lot of people care about. But what should be easy is getting rid of the pointless waste and stupid spending that doesn't benefit anybody. Waste we should be getting rid of even if we didn't have a deficit. Sure, some of these cuts aren't that big, but no amount of waste is acceptable. Not when it's your money. Not at a time when so many Americans are already cutting back. Just as families are living within their means, government should too. Did you know the federal government pays for a website devoted to a folk music ensemble made up of forest rangers? They're called the Fiddlin' Foresters.
Yeah, I don't know about you, but to me that sounds a lot like Doge. So for all the outrage that the Democrats are putting out there when it comes to Elon Musk, for all the claims that no, the government isn't as inefficient, it isn't as wasteful and full of fraud as the Republicans and Elon Musk are claiming, well, hey, I never thought I would see the day when I would say, I actually agree with what Barack Obama was saying there. Now, had I seen that in 2011, I would like to think that I would have agreed. I would like to think that I'm not a hypocrite and, just being partisan. But I actually agreed with something he said. Pinch? Like, okay, yeah, this is real life. Are you surprised? Is anyone else surprised? I'm low-key kind of shocked. As always, though, all of that is my analysis and commentary, and just a friendly reminder about the question of the day. What do you think about the Chuck Schumer backlash? Do you think it's just, hey, they're angry, they're lashing out, or do you think this is a coordinated effort to get new leadership in the Senate as the Democrats try to figure out their political future and somehow make their way out of the political wilderness? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. If you haven't already, please be sure to give me a thumbs up. I know it's a simple thing to ask for, but it really does help me reach more viewers like you in the algorithm. Be sure to smash that subscribe button and to check out one of these videos.